What's going on, guys? So I want to talk to you guys today about something that could potentially completely change the direction in which you run your dog breeding program or how you view things. We're going to be talking about prepotent dogs and why they play such a huge part and why you need to have them in your dog breeding program. So stay tuned. What's going on, Bully fam? It's your boy, the educated, the scientist, Mr. Double Muscle Line Bulls, bringing you another episode of Breeders Hacks. So today I want to talk about prepotent dogs. First of all, what is prepotent? It'll be a dog that will pass specific characteristics to its offspring pretty consistently, every time. So that's what we call prepotent dogs. So the reason why you need to have dogs like this in your breeding program, and the reason why it's important to breed to dogs like this, is because of the fact that I'm gonna try to sound as simple as possible. Is dogs like, for example, like Crossbones. He'll throw, a good 70 to 80% of himself in the litter, like every time. And the reason why that's so important is because having dogs that are prepotent like that, having dogs that will throw a lot of themselves in the litter every time, will ensure you that you will have consistent results. And that's what dog breeding is about. One of the biggest things you don't want to lose your dogs to is not breeding correctly, where you started with a signature look and you were trying to build off that look, and then the look starts to look completely different because, well, you weren't breeding to the right dogs. So you could have bred dogs that look the right way, but they're not prepotent. They don't reproduce that look, not strong enough at least. So with that being said, like I said, that is my biggest thing with my program that I've been aiming for and continue to aim for. And prime example is Crossbones is over Paintball. Paintball is another dog that is heavily prepotent. You breed him to any type of dog, and he will throw 80% of himself in the litter. Crossbones is the same way. That's why we did a line breeding to produce dogs off of Crossbones that also carry Paintball in the lineage, so that then we continue to keep prepotent dogs in the pedigree. I'm gonna do a separate episode doing like line breeding and things like that. But for the most part, even whether you line breed or inbreed or not, whatever the case it may be, you still want to have prepotent dogs. You want to breed to prepotent dogs, and I'm going to explain why. It's because there have been dogs out there that get big names, and I'm not gonna say any specific names, but there have been dogs out there that they get a lot of promotion, they get these big names, and then when it comes to their offspring, the offspring looks really not much like them, or very little like them, because those dogs aren't prepotent. They're not throwing themselves enough in the litter. You want to have dogs that throw themselves heavy in the litter so you can get those characteristics, those traits, and lock in on it. Those are what we call prepotent dogs. So the only way to really know is to see what is that dog producing, and not only what is he producing and how much does it resemble himself, but to different females as well. Or the same thing goes for the female. If you want to see if she's prepotent, breed her to different studs and see if she keeps giving you a consistent look of herself. And essentially the key thing is you just breed those dogs, those prepotent dogs, those dogs with strong characteristics that you want, you breed them to each other. And you just lock in that look and you keep it consistent. That is how you get consistency. That is the goal, my friend, is consistency without your program, consistency within your bloodlines, Sorry, the car is just shaking like crazy. I'm on a really bumpy road. But anyway, guys, like I was saying, that's the goal. That has been my goal for years now. And it's definitely obtainable. Now, if someone breeds to Crossbones or Double Cross or Anger Management, there's a high chance that my dogs are going to throw a lot of their look into the breeding. Now, in my opinion, I also believe that there's dogs in reverse. That, for example, I have a dog, Coco. She, in my opinion, is the opposite. She will throw very little of herself in the breeding. And sometimes that's, I guess, good if you're trying to wash out a specific look and you're trying to bring in the heavy characteristics of another look, as long as the stud is preponent. This female, she maybe throws like 30% of herself, you know? So that's just something to be mindful of. I'm going to do more in-depth episode, but I just kind of want to touch on this with you guys and, like, you know, share how important it is, because there's some dogs out there, some big name studs, and these people are hyping and promoting them and everything like that, and that's cool, but how preponent are they? Are they throwing enough of themselves in the litter? Are the characteristics strong enough? Because I'll give you an example. You could take a litter, right? Prime example is like, all right, the F1 Angry Toy Bulls, right? Crossbones bred to Coco. That look was so strong. All the dogs carried the Angry Toy Bull look. Even some of the last picked dogs that maybe didn't look as amazing as the first picked dogs, I would still take a dog that comes off of a preponent litter like that than to breed to a dog that is amazing. He looks like the perfect dog in your opinion, and the litter that he came off of, everything else was not consistent. Everything else was not preponent. Everything else was, the characteristics and the traits were just scattered all over the place. I'd rather breed to a dog that's ugly and comes from a litter of heavy preponent, heavy strong characteristics that are consistently thrown, are heavily thrown within the blood. I'd rather breed to a dog like that, that's ugly, than to breed to a dog that looks beautiful and looks perfect, but comes from a very inconsistent, not preponent bloodline, not preponent breeding. And the only way to know is you got to look at the siblings. You got to look at the parents. You got to see, is the look and the blood consistent? Does it throw it consistently? If you feel like it throws consistently, then it's for you. It's going to be preponent. If not, then don't think that your breeding is going to be the exception. You know? So that's why, like, for example, you know, studs, when they're first starting out, that's why their stud fee is lower, because you're taking that chance to see if the dog is preponent, if he's going to throw his look. That's why when he does start to produce his look, his stud fee is higher. And then some dogs, I mean, the promotion's just there and people just charge whatever they want. But there's really supposed to be a mathematics to how a stud, you know, the price point as far as the stud goes. But anyway, guys, I'm pulling up to, you know, where I was driving to, but I just wanted to talk and share this, guys, with you. And I'll do another episode going more in depth, but I wanted to share this with you guys. So some of you guys, it'll be on your radar. Look for preponent dogs, all right? And that's where preponent dogs will set your breeding program up for success. And this goes for every breed, especially the exotic bully, though, the breed that I'm in. There's a lot of mixed breeding, you know, as far as, like, there was a lot of different dogs thrown into this breed. I particularly never threw any other breeds into my dogs, but at some point or another, there definitely was. So it's just one of those things that, even more so, that's why you have to make sure that your dogs are preponent, because the genes are so scattered. You know, with you guys that breed other breeds, that the breeds have been established for hundreds of years, this still applies, because there's dogs within your breed that maybe don't, they look the part but aren't producing it. So preponent falls for every breed. I just say for the exotic bully, though, you have to be extra strict and extra careful, and a lot of people aren't aware of that. So that's why the breed, I mean, that plays a part as to why the breed is where it's at. But anyways, guys, I hope this information was helpful. I hope it was useful. Please like, share, and subscribe. And it just encourages us to do more episodes like this. I'll see you guys in the next episode of Breeders Hacks.